Hey, what's up YouTube? This is Desert Fox bringing you another Terran vs Protoss game. Now this is one of the first games of the day, and I decided to get off my couch and stop watching replays to actually do some StarCraft. But while I was watching some streams, I noticed a Muslim playing his Terran vs Protoss games and doing his fast expansion and to 4 barracks and then teching up to medevacs. So I have a general idea of the late game and the mid game, but I don't know the exact build order that I need to follow to get there. And with this map, which is a really big map, especially if you're cross positions, you have to walk all of this. And even if you're here, it's huge distances between the bases. So I find it safe to do a 1 barracks fast expand and then hide behind it with a bunker. It's really safe, and if you scout him, you have the opportunity to throw down another or a 3rd bunker if he's going for some 4-gate. And also, I am safe against Dark Templars because I do throw down an engineering bay and a turret. Sorry, I have the hiccups. It's actually the 3rd time I record this game. The first time I messed up, I had really long pauses and it wasn't really enjoyable. The second time I forgot to press record, and this is the 3rd time, and I hope it all goes well. So I'm sending the SCV that built the barracks to scout, and I'm getting my orbital right after my barracks. I walled in just so that his probe wouldn't be able to get any scouting information. And right now on 18 supply I should be throwing down my command center. Now see, his probe is completely denied of scouting, and I actually cancelled my orbital command. Quite funny, I lost like 30 minerals off of it, 37 minerals. And this is really important right here, the scouting. So I see he's putting down this gas, so he obviously has another gas, otherwise he's just super late. He's not spending his chrono on the cybernetic score. And I'm just scouting around, see if he has any tech anywhere in his base. And sometimes this is dangerous. When a Protoss only has 1 gateway and no other tech buildings and is not chrono boosting the cybernetic score, he could be going for some void rays or some shenanigans like that. And now I see the 2nd gas popping down, and he did have a sentry out. So that tells me that he's probably not going Void Rays, because Void Rays and Phoenix cost so much gas, it's crazy. So always count the sentries when you're in his base. It's totally worth it. And my voice is getting raspy because this is the 3rd time, so that's about like an hour straight of talking to the computer without really doing anything else. So now as soon as I put these down, I throw down my first gas, and I forget to put guys on it, sadly. And send these back to work. Now, Dark Templar will get to your base around the 7-minute mark. Cool timing. So I am getting this engineering bay right now at the 6-minute mark. So by the time Dark Templars would come to my base, I will have a turret, hopefully. And if not, I'll have scans. So the key to this is to constantly produce workers, because you fast expanded, and theoretically you should be ahead of your opponents. Except he chrono boosted his probes like crazy. So now my first 100 gas will be put to my infantry weapons, because I thought that, hey, I got this engineering bay really quickly, might as well get some weapons upgrades. And see, look at that timing. I mean, it's going to be a bit after the 7-minute mark, but that's okay. I'm still Dark Templar safe. So I'm throwing down my 2nd gas as soon as I threw down this engineering bay. And I'm getting a tech lab, and I will be getting a reactor right here. Then the next 100 gas will be devoted to stim, and then after that combat shields. And my 3rd gas will be thrown approximately when I throw down my factory. That's when I'm going to need that extra gas to support the medevac production, as well as the upgrades that I will be getting. What else is there to say in the early game? Be worried about his early push, because a Protoss with an early push is completely devastating. Like a 3 gateway robo all in is really devastating, as well as a 4-gate. And just a few bunkers and good scouting information will tell you that. But here I see so many sentries, it's crazy. So I'm guessing that he expanded out of this, and he's just putting on some pressure. So all you need to do is pull down a few SCVs, and yeah, that's it. SCVs and repair will destroy anything he throws at you. And now I'm throwing down my factory, and I have my gas here, and my mule is misclicked, so he's not really doing anything. And right after this factory, I will be getting an armory, as well as more tech labs on these barracks. So I'm going mostly Marauders right now with all these tech labs, because I had so many Marines in the early game, and Marines in the late game aren't really that good. And a Protoss timing 12 minutes, he would have maybe 1 or 2 Colossus. And you don't really want to have that many Marines against Colossus, or Colossi, rather. Marauders will tend to live a bit longer, which is awesome because that way they'll deal more damage in their lifetime than Marines would. So now I send my factory to scout his third base, which I assume he has or is on the way. But he had an observer right here, and he saw this barracks, so this factory, so he intercepted it. But I had good scouting information. The scouting information I got was little zealots, high sentries, and medium amount of stalkers. So that would probably mean that he's expanding and not taking as hard for the moments because of all those sentries. Now this barracks is just in a horrible position, so I'll be putting down a tech lab on that. He's scouting with his little observer. Hey observer. So now all I want to do is not get supply blocked, which I am getting horribly. So I do use these supply drops often in my games, and I really need to stop it. I really need to get on top of my supply depot production. But now I'm getting my 2 weapons and 2 armor. So I'm gearing up for the late game. My upgrades are nice and on the way. And now I'm doing my multi-pronged drops with my first 2 medevacs. And the thing to note, you don't need to do a lot of damage. You just need to make him feel like he needs to stay in his base. Like, I get a few workers killed, 10 workers killed right now, 12 workers killed, and now I just load up and run away while his whole enemy's here, and then I'm free to do whatever I want here. If I would have stimmed, this base would have been dead so much faster, but he got there, and imagine if I would have picked this base. It would have been huge, huge, huge. But the thing I didn't realize is that when he pulled his army back, he actually pulled his whole army back. I could have went back with this medevac and dropped this again before those 3 cannons went down. And I would have been safe and did a bit more damage and made him stick to his base. So now I expanded behind those that medevac harass. I am getting my +3 weapons. And I'm getting my Ghost Academy, because that's about when you'll have enough gas and mineral income to afford getting ghosts. Because ghosts cost a lot of money. So I am getting supply blocked again. I will be doing some more supply drops. I'm hitting myself for that. Putting down some more supply and transferring workers, because I am heavily oversaturated on this base. I still am oversaturated on this base. I could have transferred all these, because the perfect saturation that you want is 2 full rows of SCVs. Just a tip. And now this is the final engagement. I push in with my upgrades, destroy the rocks, and then push in. And then he realized that, so he tries to split my army in half. Except this is where he did some bad decision making. He, instead of picking off this part of the army, while I have the other part of the army doing anything else, he pulls back after splitting my army. So then I decide, wait a minute, this is favorable for me, because now I can attack him from 2 sides at the same time. So I scan because I fear DTs. I always fear DTs when I hear zealots slashing, because it's the same sound as DTs. And this is really unfortunate. He just finished Psystorm, but I attacked all of his High Templars before they could get the Psystorms off, so he was forced to make Archons. And that just went horribly for him. Horribly. So, really, this final battle, he could have won easily. And I'm just going to bring this back to the 16 minutes and 30 second mark. Right when I'm getting there with my push. Okay, look at the production tab. Psystorm is halfway done. Okay. He's Where's that Templar Archives? There it is. He's throwing down the Chrono Boost on it, trying to get that done. If I were him, I would have sacrificed this expansion. Maybe force fielded the whole thing, actually. And pull back, wait for these High Templars to have the Psy Storm upgrade, and then just dominate my army. But he didn't do that, and that's probably why he lost. Now, I hope you enjoyed watching this and maybe learned something, and leave comments, constructive criticism maybe. And yeah, thanks for watching. Good luck on the ladders, guys.